All right, welcome back to the Crude Live Morning Show. My levels are way hot this morning. God, I got to turn that down. Oh, wait, no, that's Kate Hornbrook. How you doing?
Hey, Jason, how's it going?
Oh, looking for a great way to segue in. Kate Hornbrook down in the Permian, Texas on our Swan Energy phone line. Of course, Sterling is with us as well. Frackleberry Hound is on her. You know what we have for her is one of those big giant bean bags. And that's what we have for her bed is a big giant beanbag.
Ooh, I'm jealous. One of those love sacks?
That's what it is, a love sack, actually.
Yeah. Those are wonderful.
I got one off of a Facebook Marketplace for $25. And
I've been trying to do that. I have not had as good a luck.
I got very lucky right around Christmas, and I was up at 4 or 5 in the morning, and
it's a good shopping time apparently.
And it happened to just go on within a half hour, and so I emailed the person right away, and I said, I'll PayPal you or Venmo you the money. Is it $25? Yeah, I'll buy it right now, sight unseen, this and that, and then we went to Petco, and just one of those little pet beds that are just a little. Yeah. Flimsy thing. They're like $50.
Yeah, they're like prison mattresses.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, how you doing down there in the Permian Basin? Give us a boots on the ground report, if you wouldn't mind.
So, right now it's actually been pretty cold out here in the Permian. It reminds me of Ohio, so I guess that's good and bad. I kind of figured that once I left Ohio for the holidays that I wouldn't see cold weather again, but lo and behold, here we are. So I've been bundled up, but other than that, oil industry report, things are definitely picking up out here. I know personally for my company, Ace Completions, we've definitely been picking up a lot of work, and now we're venturing into the water treatment side of things. So that's definitely helping us to bring in some more clientele. So that's really wonderful.
Water treatment side of things. Elaborate a little bit more if you can, please.
So yes, so we're just we actually merged with Terra Oilfield Services, and they deal on the water treatment side of things. So with their strengths in that and our strengths on the bulk frac chemical side, I think it's a match made in heaven, no doubt.
Can I ask you a question that may appear very dumb?
Sure.
Okay. So when I was down there last time, when you and I spoke, I was introduced to a bunch of different people, and one of the gentlemen that I spoke to was about the industrial forest, and we were talking about, putting it in the Permian down there, and specifically between Midland and Odessa. In fact, we've got some more meetings scheduled when I head back down there in February. And the problem with building a forest in the Permian is the water, because there is none. So
yeah, the lack thereof.
Right. So where do you get from it, And what do they say the joke is in the Permian? If you want to find the one good-looking guy or the one good-looking girl, go look behind the one tree. Ha! Because there's just like one tree in the Permian, and apparently there's not, apparently there's so many good-looking people. Everybody's good-looking. And I think I was offensive there without even knowing.
No,
you did good.
I think most of it, a lot of the guys out here, so they say, find it hard to meet women out here.
Right. Okay.
So there's definitely that. I know many of my male friends have definitely had issues meeting other women out here, because most of them are either taken or I don't want to say the other part.
Okay.
Oh, what? Now I'm dying to know. What? They're witches? What?
All I know is I heard a whole different bunch of jokes when I was out in the Permian. Like I said, to where I just naturally said what I said, and then I went, "Wait a minute, was that offensive? What did I just say there?" But you go down to the Permian, that's just normal.
All bets
talk.
are off.
Yeah,
right?
That's just colloquialisms.
It's like Thunderdome.
Anyway, so let's get to what you have going. Oh, so my question, getting back to the ADHD talk here, is that can you recycle water enough so they can water trees? Is that something that can be done?
So yes, you definitely can. It just depends on what method that you would use to treat the water. You can chemically treat the water, and I would probably not use that type of water for foliage, but if you can use maybe like an electro-oxidation of water or something like a different cleansing process,
So
then
here,
I think
go ahead.
you would be better off.
Well,
That makes sense.
The idea is, logistically speaking, is that, with these forests, we have these sustainability sheds where they have either a well or, above ground cistern type of a unit, right? And so from there, we have a pipeline that will go out and water the trees. So in the Permian, our perfect world thought would be that some oil and gas company with recycled water then would, once a week or once a month, whatever, drop off that recycled water. They'd be able to promote it with the forest, this and that type of we'll figure out the details from there. We're still on the logistics phase, but is that something that's possible where, an oil and gas company, if they recycle the frack water down to the point to where it can actually, water a forest?
I don't see why not.
Awesome. Yes.
That'd be amazing to be able to close the loop.
That, I'm telling you, that would make national news.
Yeah.
That would make national news if there was a forest down in the Permian doing this. Kate, we're going to make this happen. I'm telling you, I'm serious about this because
that sounds big.
We've got meetings set up down in the Permian with some mayors and political people and that sort of thing to try to tackle it from that side. But, maybe with your help, we can do it a little bit from the industry side because, are you ready for this? Bump, bump, up. That's called veteran transition right there. We're going to transition into Kate's new role. She has just stepped up, and accepted the role as president of the Permian chapter of the Oilfield Connections International chapter. Wow. So congratulations.
Congratulations. All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much.
Well, Frackleberry Hound even stood up on that one. So talk to me about the group. Talk to me about the role. Say, some words that you'd like to say in your inauguration speech here.
So, it was in a bad situation in which I have now stepped up to president. Unfortunately, Greg Mays, who was the chapter president of the Permian, actually passed away due to COVID. So, prayers for his family, prayers for his friends. But, things have to keep moving. And, the board members of OCI chose me to, go from VP into the president spot. And I have actually chosen Tiffany Wilson from Aries to be my VP. I think she brings a lot to the table and an all-female power team. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, we are actually planning to have our first event after the holidays now on the 4th of February, our regular luncheon. I believe that we're going to have to switch venues from the Rolling Sevens over to a different venue just while the weather isn't cooperative and it's a bit colder here. But we're looking at new venues and hoping to have a great kickoff in February now that we are past the holiday season.
So I wrote down two things. Which one would you like me to ask first? The question or the snarky question?
Snarky question first.
Okay, so I wrote down when you said an all-female power team, there can be nothing wrong with that. I wrote down, add in future drop that says opinions on this show may not be held by the host. An all-female power team.
Tiffany and I are kick-ass for sure.
Oh, you guys are a force. I know that. That's absolutely. Actually, Tiffany, a good friend of the program, we still have her flower, her greenery that she sent because she's all about the green movement with the Crude Life and trying to explore some new opportunities. So the Crude Life sisters sent the Crude Life here a plant that it greens up our offices even more so. Anyway, and the next question I had for you was, when is the next event? And just talk about that a little bit, kind of what you guys are doing at the Oilfield Connections and, just what the expectations are coming into next year and that sort of thing. Well, actually this year. It's not next year. It's this year.
Right. So, like I said, our next luncheon will be the 4th of February. That'll just be our regular monthly luncheon. I don't believe that we're going to have a speaker. I think we're just going to leave it at open networking for that event. And I think we'll have to cap it due to restrictions for coronavirus and pending what venue we choose. But I think we're also hoping to do a happy hour once we get into the warmer months. I'm not sure when exactly or where we're going to do that yet, but I know Tiffany and I have been in talks that we'd really like to hit the ground running, get that happy hour event going, especially because many operators and many people can't attend our monthly luncheons because they just don't have that time in the middle of the day. But if we switch to more of a happy hour, or maybe do a monthly luncheon, happy hour, alternating months, that might be able to be more inclusive to people that can't otherwise make it.
And I think we could all use more happy hours, for sure.
I think we could all use more happy.
Yeah, exactly.
As your new role as president, new duties, new responsibilities. Will one of your roles as new president be to discuss whether to change the venues in terms of frequency, or you mentioned, you might have to change to a new place because of the weather, but also put a cap on there because of COVID. The last two events that I went to, the first one I think was 75 people there, and the next one was 150. And then I went to that fundraiser for the soup kitchens, and there was over 300 people there. So there's definitely a demand for people to show up to events. So, maybe might you go twice a month and alternate between the lunch and the thing that, you're the president. So, you've got new duties, new ideas, new responsibilities. Talk to me.
I think that's actually probably a good idea to maybe do 2 events a month. That definitely would make it easier on people to be able to come while still having a smaller group. But it definitely, with COVID and, people being stuck at home, people want to be out. People want to be seeing people and interacting. So it's sometimes hard to impose that cap because it fills up so darn quickly. So hopefully maybe implementing 2 meetings, whether that's 2 luncheons or a lunch and a happy hour or 2 happy hours, would be a way to get more people out while still remaining cautious and taking the proper precautions with COVID still afoot. You know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean. I just had a phone call coming in and an email and a few other things happening, so I apologize. That
No, you're fine.
I went from multitasking to crashing. That was the end.
Need
right
more
there.
Coffee. Better fill that coffee mug up again.
Actually, that's what I did. I went and just took a sip of coffee because I wanted to ignore everything else happening. Like, okay, I just got to change my mind space here because I got invaded by too many different things. Okay, so I get that. You're in a very difficult position right now. First of all, you're coming in under less than fortunate circumstances, which is your predecessor passed from COVID. So again, respects out to him and his family. I met Greg, I think a week before he contracted it, actually, and so I just met him, and then all of a sudden that had happened. So you have that, and then at the same time, the Permian is really where 70% of probably the drilling is happening, if not more. So we need to move on with our businesses in our life. And here we got, we just had a news story earlier talking about the decrease of taxes being collected, therefore education's getting impacted. Yesterday we had a story about people are reducing their pay by a third, and half of the people have been laid off. All these things are happening. It's almost like it's difficult to get the positive momentum going. That's what I'm trying to say, is that it's difficult to try to get the positive momentum going. So I'm very happy that you're in charge, and I'm very happy that Tiffany is coming on board, because I know the both of you, and you guys are firecrackers. So, whatever you need from us, we're in. We're here to help you guys out, whatever you need, because again, positive momentum is needed right now. So anyway, Sterling
and everybody needs to help each other out right now in this industry. I was just kind of curious what you're expecting over the next year or so down there.
It's hard to judge
Yeah.
what to expect, especially in a time when you have to expect the unexpected.
Right.
And as cliche as that sounds, I'm hoping that we can, oil was above $50. I haven't honestly checked this morning to confirm if that's still the case, but I'm sure it probably is. If we can hold steady above $50 a barrel, that would be wonderful. Hopefully, with things picking up, I know fracs have picked up. I know that many of the drilling companies have put in a whole bunch of permits so that if something does happen with Biden taking over the presidency, that they'd still have all their permits already done before anything could happen on the end of the president. But, I'm remaining optimistic that things will continue to pick up, more jobs will be out there, and people will get back to work safely.
Yeah, safely. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it looks like WTI crude's at 53 right now.
Even better. Hey,
Yep.
that's even higher.
Keep it going.
It's on an uprise right
Yeah.
now, so that's great.
You a sports fan?
Depends on the sport, but yes.
Football?
A little bit. I'm more of a hockey fan. That's the northerner in me, but
Oh, yeah.
How does
I
that
dabble in football.
How does that play down in Texas?
They got hockey teams.
No, I know they do, but they have heat 90% of the time too.
Yeah.
So,
Well, most
especially
ice
in
rinks are
Midland.
indoor.
No, I know Dallas. Dallas. I was a North Stars fan as a kid until Dallas took them. And now the Stars they're called, and we got the Wild. But in Columbus, Ohio, you guys didn't get a team for a long time.
Well, I actually am not a Blue Jackets fan. I am actually a Pittsburgh Penguins fan.
All right.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes
There
sense.
was no, my dad was a hockey player. I was a figure skater growing up, and we always rooted for the Penguins because there was no Columbus Blue Jackets till I believe 99. So I stuck with that. I actually went to Game 5 of the Stanley Cup the second year that the Pens won it in a row.
Oh, awesome.
And it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was incredible. It was like being at a concert, and just the energy around you was just electric. It
So
was
cool.
amazing.
So coming up in the next segment, we're going to be talking about some sports athletes' nicknames and some unique sports because, it's Friday and it's so important, sports are, that you got to say it 5 times and also that we got to have a chance. So it's sports. And that's coming up next. Of course, we've got playoff football, everything else happening. But hockey's interesting because hockey doesn't get a lot of play, in terms of talk and everything. But I've always said this about hockey. And Kate, I'd love to know your opinion on this. When you take a look at sports, all right, so we've got sports on television and then we got sports live, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Football is by far the best on TV and arguably probably the worst live,
Yeah.
okay?
Absolutely.
Hockey is the exact opposite. Hockey is arguably the worst on TV, but the best
Besides
live.
golf.
It does not get a live hockey game. It doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah. Well, you got
You
the
are
rink.
not wrong.
Yeah.
I absolutely love going to hockey games in person. It doesn't even have to be like the NHL, even just around town and stuff. The Jackalopes play, going to a live hockey game in general, no matter what level, is usually pretty entertaining, especially because you get, the fights and stuff. That's obviously the best part. When they're checking them against the boards, just the sounds and the energy.
Yeah, the
in
smashing
a
against the
hockey arena.
glass and yeah.
Case in point,
It's amazing.
3 nights ago, I got invited to volunteer to be the professional voice for the West Fargo girls senior night for their hockey. And the girls hockey played Jamestown.
Nice.
And it was seniors night, and this is awesome. So the parents called, and they asked me to do the introductions and just that sort of thing. And it was such an odd request because the end of the pitch to me, or the end of the ask, the one parent goes, "We just want it done right and professional this year." And I paused and I thought, what
Wait,
on earth happened that somebody abused their power as a PA person at a local high school girls hockey game where enough parents stepped up and said, "Nope, just go get some professional
Yeah.
and get it done right."
And your second
my
thought
gosh,
was
that
was
is-
it me last year?
Oh man.
So anyway, so there's that part of it. And the reason I brought it up is I was there the other night at a hockey game, a girls' hockey game in the midst of COVID. And there was a lot of people there, actually. There was quite a few people there. But for me, I enjoyed the parents. That was what I enjoyed, was the energy and the words and the chants
the passion.
and the passion that came out of the parents in the hockey game.
Yeah,
You know, when I would always go to hockey games when I was in high school, because I was friends with a lot of the hockey players, because obviously we spent a lot of our time at the ice rink. Yeah, definitely the parents can be pretty animated. There was definitely, you know, some choice words said between parents. Maybe the occasional punch thrown. But that's none of my business. You know what I mean?
well, that's part of the
I would
show
just
while you're there.
look
That's
at 'em
just
and
that's
walk
a
away
bonus.
like the teenager that I was and be like, hey, you know, I'm gonna look the other way on that one.
I remember when I used to manage the Ramada in Fargo back in the day, we'd get hockey tournaments in town, and we would have to put signs up in the lobby, you know, no hockey sticks and this and that. Well, then all of a sudden we had a meeting one day, and it was about the parents, because the parents were closing the bar down, and just the problems that happened after 10 o'clock were not good. They were worse than the kids. And so anyways, just to kind of elaborate on your story a little bit, but do you remember the Mario Lemieux? You mentioned the Pittsburgh Penguins growing up, and Mario Lemieux, I imagine, was probably somewhat in your consciousness?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you remember his nickname?
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I don't.
He had
know
one
it off
though,
the
right?
top of my head.
Okay, well, that's fine. I mean, it's I tell you, it'd be very similar to my nickname, but it's, you know, not even close. But no, it's the Magnificent One. Or Le Magnifique.
Yes,
Because he's, you know,
well,
French Canadian.
he's humble too.
Right.
Yeah,
But that was his nickname. Did you have a... Go ahead.
Is that your new nickname, Jason?
Mr.
No,
Magnificent.
it's not. Actually, the other day, we were thinking it should be the Shale Play Prophet or the Shale Play Shaman, because just some weird things that happened.
I like the Shale Play Prophet. That one's pretty good.
Well, in 2009, in our media kit, 2019, our media kit was ready for anything. And because we knew what was happening with Greta Thunberg and the whole ESG social environmental movement type of a thing. And we didn't think it'd be COVID, but and when we looked back at our marketing slogans for our media kits, we were like a year ahead of everything. And so it was not as quite to the Simpsons predicting the future, but but it was along the same lines. So anyway, we might actually do a segment called Shale Play Prophet, where we pull former interviews, and they're either prophetic, meaning that, wow, that guy really predicted the future, or they were so wrong and profited so much, we got to use the word profit with a different spelling.
Some little dollar signs in there, huh?
So, hey, man, there's two sides of that coin.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what was the other question I was going to have for the lovely Kate Hornbrook before we let her get on her way? Did we have another question or not? Oh, who was your favorite hockey player growing up? That's what it was.
That was the question.
Yeah.
Oh, Sidney Crosby, no doubt.
Really?
Sid the Kid. I've got, that's whose jersey I have. You just can't knock him. He's wonderful, and he's a good person. You know, he displays in his actual life that he's a good person, where a lot of other professional athletes, you know, are kind of dicks.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's true, and I hate that I have to end up making that choice between, do I want to watch them play or do I not, because I think they're a dick.
No, exactly. So, you know, with him, I can confidently say he's a great role model. He's a great person, and I'm happy to watch the games when he's playing, you know?
Interesting. I would have never guessed that. Well, that's good to know. So, okay. Yeah.
I'll add that to the file.
Add that to the file.
Well, we'll leave you with, you can have the final word. How can people give, mention your business again, how you make a living, and give them a plug, because we appreciate you coming on. And then also, the Oilfield Connections and that sort of thing. So start off with the Oilfield Connections, and then we'll conclude with your business, okay?
Okay, so yeah, if you guys want to be a member of Oilfield Connections, go to www.oilfieldconnections.net. On the homepage, there should be a spot for corporate and individual membership. And there's plenty of local chapters all over the United States. We actually have some in South America as well, too. So if you're tuning in from there, there's someplace for you as well. So hopefully you'll be joining us at our next upcoming event on February 4th. And hopefully we'll be having some happy hours and other events following. And as for business, not pleasure, I'm with Ace Completions. You can either send me an email at khornbrook@acecompletions.com or hit my cell phone at 330-936-0709. And yes, that is still an Ohio number, so don't be scared by that.
Love it. Hit my cell phone. It's just so cool. All right, folks, we're going to take a brief pause. We come back. It's sports talk here on the Crude Life Morning Show. Play hard, work hard. We're still playing hard right here.